Okay, we'll get the microphone sorted. Listen to me, chosen ones. There's a reason why I tell you, I recommend. Telling will be like more of dictate. I recommend that you do not take narcissistic abuse personal. You don't take it personally. It is not personal. It has never been personal. You see, you're dealing with a child. You're dealing with a little child. It's like, for example, when a little child wants something, they're gonna throw the tantrums, roll on the floor, uh, scream and shout and even cry. Even sometimes they don't even mean crying, but they cry for you to see that they are crying. And then it's gonna convince you that, oh, if I don't give this thing to this kid, something could happen. They could hurt themselves or something like that. So basically, what you're dealing with is a small child. You're dealing with a little immature child, underdeveloped emotionally, and for a narcissist, this is a battle of survival. It's a matter of life and death. They do not have any other way out of it. It is a mere battle of life and death. Their survival fully depends on your energy, on your fuel. What fuel you will give is what is going to help them to thrive. Never at any moment will a narcissist leave you, and they are going to be there on their own. And they will not have an alternative source of supply. So for a narc to be without supply is like suicide. A lot of you guys empathy, you've been healing and you've unplugged and you've gone out there to do your own thing, you're healing and whatever you're doing, getting some therapy, you're doing maybe coaching sessions or whatever. And you're on your own. Okay, maybe you had the rebound here and there. Personally, I had the rebound on the first discard. But you're living. Okay, it's not like for you, your survival depends on if you have a partner or not. That only depends on if you are strongly codependent. It may be the case. But in most case scenarios, you can do it on your own. But with the narc, it is not possible. With the narc, it is not possible. They cannot make it. They have never made it. They will never make it on their own. So when I'm saying don't take it personal, sometimes it triggers people. It triggers some people because, but they abused you and then this and this and this. Ladies and gentlemen, I get it. Okay? Yeah. They abused you, they did this or they did that. It's happened. Many of us, we've been there. But when you look very closely, you're going to realize that the individual you're dealing with does not have any other options. They cannot heal. This thing is very mental. Deep inside their head, it's spiritual. They cannot get out of it. But you can. Not that I'm saying it's easy, but you can get out of it. Because when, the right time comes and maybe you've discarded or whatever you want to go there, you can start healing when you're healing yourself. You can't get out of it. The narcissist can't. There is times I look back and I see all these narcissists I've been dealing with. And I remember the times we had an encounter or the entanglement, and I look at how they are and where they are now. And I'm seeing the same version of the person that I left 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 15 years ago. If it's a narcissistic parent, 50 years ago. That is how they have been. It is how they have lived. It is how they will always live. There's no other way out of it. But you, the only thing that what was happening was you didn't know that you was dealing with abuse. So the moment you figured it out and you take back your power, you start walking away and, putting some boundaries, whatever, you start healing. The narcissist cannot. I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know what I'm talking about, I want you to leave a narcissist and go on a healing journey and look at your life 10 years later. Look back at the narcissist that you left 10 years ago. You are still going to see the same little kid that you left 10 years ago. It is going to be the same little kid scrambling for bread, moving up and down for supply, looking for validation. You out there doing your own thing, you can validate yourself, you can heal yourself. So narcissistic abuse, ladies and gentlemen, it is devastating. We all understand. And in my opinion, I think it should even be, if a person has gone through abuse, these people, they should be protected by the law. They should be defended and protected by the law. So if a person, it should be criminal. Narcissistic abuse should become criminal. But that is not me to decide, because even the ones that are supposed to decide, most likely that they are the ones who are the narcissists themselves. So they're not going to decide anyway. But when you're dealing with spiritual matters, especially when it comes to narcissism and all these other toxic behaviors and stuff, you have got to understand and understand that there is people that are broken, okay? Not only are they broken, but they're also broken beyond repair. And there's pretty much nothing you can do. But you see, the fact is, or the truth is, you will never know these people exist until you have been with one. So you will never fully understand the magnitude of narcissistic abuse until you have run into a narcissist. That is when you will understand the depth at which this abuse can go. Okay? So regardless of what has happened, you need to find a way to forgive these people. If it has been your parent, years and years of abuse, you always have to find that soft spot inside of you to forgive these people. And I'm not talking about forgiving them that you should open the doors and let them back into your life. I'm talking about forgiving them for you to be able to move on. Because it is through forgiveness that you're going to start healing the wounds, repairing the damage. The damage is very intense. We all know that. But when you start forgiving these people and don't internalize it, don't really take it very deeply personal, is it now that you're going to have the possibility to move ahead and to move forward and to start healing, okay? So love yourself well enough to remove yourself from abuse. But don't be too foolish to allow the people that abused you back into your life in the first place, okay? But whatever you do when you're out there, just understand it has always been about supply. It's always been about energy. They have always just wanted somebody to validate them. They're little children trying to scramble, screaming for help. And they are internally broken and damaged, okay? You are the one that didn't know what was going on. You just fell into this whole trap and didn't know what it was. But now that you understand, I would recommend not to take it personal. Don't take it very personal. The more you start to release that energy of internalizing it all the time and, ruminating on it and worrying and thinking, okay, it's going to happen. Yes, we have all been there. But don't over-internalize it, because it was always about energy and survival. That is how they survive, okay? The more you start to understand these people, you know what you need to do. You start protecting yourself. You start putting the boundaries. You start moving a certain direction because you know how to move. You have educated yourself well enough to be able to protect yourself, okay? But whatever the reason is, or whatever the case is, don't take it very personal. It has never been personal for starters. So let us know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think. It's been my opinion, but in my case, that is what exactly happened. You may have a different opinion. Let us know in the comments. Like the page and subscribe. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Denzamo signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.